Hello, this is Dee from dmiddleton.com. Do you have a cluttered mindset? Find out why people hold on to clutter and how to let go. Welcome to my year-long Thorough Declutter series. In this series, we declutter 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Today, we will be looking at one of my favorite resources, Lose the Clutter, Lose the Weight by Peter Walsh, and answering the questions you may have about a cluttered mindset. First, let's define what is a cluttered mindset. There are differences between people who are merely heavily cluttered and those who are hoarders, but they're not always far apart when it comes to specific attitudes. If you have too much stuff lying around your house, the factors that follow may help explain why. One cluttered mindset is this: you feel like it's your job to take care of these objects. Many individuals, whether they meet the criteria for hoarding disorder or not, keep objects from their childhood. Why do we hang on to mementos that may not be useful or monetarily valuable? A hoarding researcher at the University of Miami says people have all sorts of reasons for saving things. Sometimes it's because of the potential for future usefulness, or perhaps you don't want to be wasteful. Sometimes people are emotionally attached to an object and will feel responsibility for it. All of these reasons for saving, including that sense of, I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to the object, or if I'm going to get rid of it, I want to know that it's going to a good home, are actually normal ways to feel about objects, she says. But how strongly you feel this way can make the difference between a neat, streamlined home and a place that's chaotic and full of clutter. Some people I've worked with talk about many of their possessions as if they were pets or even like their children. When they adopt this mindset, it becomes easy for them to claim that no one else could possibly care for these objects as well as they can. They may even get sad, upset, or even angry at the thought of these objects being neglected or unappreciated. Unless they're convinced, and they seldom are, that these objects are going to a good home, it's close to impossible for them to part with them. A second cluttered mindset is this: you don't want to be wasteful. Someone who has this guilt worries that they're being wasteful and it makes them a bad person. The irony is that they don't follow up with actually using the object. Creating a landfill in your home does not mean that you're saving the environment. You just moved the garbage. It's no less wasteful if you do that in your own home. I see this all the time. People bring stuff into their home and then they keep it forever because maybe it costs money. Who wants to throw out or give away a perfectly good appliance? I paid good money for this, they would say. It was free or a bargain. How could I pass up such a great deal? I'm an incredible shopper for snagging this before someone else got it. Another cluttered mindset is this. Number 3, you feel guilty. Someone thought enough of you to buy you a clever t-shirt from a catalog or a concrete statue of a squirrel for your garden. Your mother drove hours to bring you her suits so you could wear them to interviews when you were in between jobs. Your grandmother left her teacup collection to you in her will. Our homes are filled with things that loved ones, friends, and coworkers gave us. You probably don't go more than a few months without receiving a gift that you never even asked for. And when you think about giving it away, you picture the gift giver's face falling in sadness. Even worse, what if they come to your house someday and don't see the gifts on display? What if they ask you when you're going to wear that tie? What if they go to Goodwill and see the grandfather clock? How disappointed and hurt would they be? My response to questions like this is simple and direct. If a gift has come to you wrapped in obligations, tightly wrapped with a ribbon of guilt, then it's not really a gift at all. That's called manipulation. A gift should be something freely given that enhances your life and reminds you lovingly of the giver. If it's not, you simply should not give it a place in your home. I understand that you're a nice person who doesn't want to hurt others' feelings, so you hang on to these items for longer than you should, even if you don't like them. But such behavior doesn't help create the life or the home you want. Another cluttered mindset is this. Number 4, you think a thing has more value simply because it belongs to you. Experts called behavioral economists have noted an issue they call the endowment effect. Dr. Tolan says merely owning an item causes you to exaggerate its value or to endow it with more worth. One common example is when people want to sell their homes for more than their worth, but the endowment effect can make even insignificant items feel more important to you. There was a great study done where the researchers got a bunch of people in a room and they showed them all a coffee mug, Dr. Tolan says. They asked, "Would you please tell us how much you would pay for this coffee mug if you were to buy it from us?" Everyone wrote down a figure. Later on, the researchers actually gave them the coffee mug as a present, but they added, "We're interested in buying it back from you. How much would you sell it for?" And everyone's numbers went straight up. I see this all the time. Even when people don't talk about feeling responsible for an item or don't feel guilty or wasteful at the thought of parting with it. This was an excerpt from Lose the Clutter, Lose the Weight by Peter Walsh. If you will follow the link in the video description, find out how you can get this digital copy of this book for free. Now that we've talked about the cluttered mindset, I want to introduce you to some of the benefits to decluttering. Number 1, less stuff equals less to clean and keep organized. Number 2, more appreciation for what you have. If you have minimal belongings, you'll care for them differently than if you had plenty at your disposal. Number 3, decluttering causes you to experience less chaos and stress. Minimalism has the benefit of lots of empty space, or in other words, more breathing room. Number 4, decluttering means more money you keep. If you cherish and care for what you already have, you'll find you spend less and keep more of your hard earned cash. Number 5, decluttering brings mental clarity and more energy. You get to do more of the things you love if you aren't constantly working to clean and care for a large amount of possessions. An added benefit to decluttering is that you can bless someone else if you have good items you need to rehome. Decluttering will cause you to shop more thoughtfully. You'll be more likely to only purchase what you really need if you are fully aware of what you already have. Like pulling weeds from your garden, decluttering will cause you to appreciate the visual improvement your efforts create. It is gratifying to look over a job or a decluttered space and feel a sense of accomplishment. By decluttering your home, you're creating visual and actual peace. Have you ever completed a task that involved a huge visual improvement? Number 9 is time. Decluttering will cause you to gain back time if you don't refill the space you cleared. It takes far less time to clean a space that is free from extra stuff. And finally, number 10, decluttering will cause you to experience more pleasant relationships with the ones you love who share your space. It is far easier to cuddle up with your little ones and read a book if the books are neatly organized and there's a clean spot to sit and snuggle. What if you could eliminate the clutter for good? I designed this year-long declutter series to help you slowly and permanently declutter your entire home. In my series, you will receive a daily declutter task for the specific room we are working on. We will move step by step through the process to declutter every room and space in your home. Currently, we are working on the first bathroom. Your daily task for today, May 12th, 2022, is to declutter your toothbrushes. Here are a few guidelines. Number 1, you'll declutter any unwanted items. 2, get rid of any toothbrushes you haven't used in a year. And number 3, declutter any that are worn out. Now let's look at a few steps to keep you decluttering and keep you on task. Number 1, only spend time on your specific daily task. Number 2, try not to get sidetracked or distracted. Number 3, work within a time of day that you have the most energy and stamina. Listen to your body and work at decluttering when you feel the most alert and energized. Number 4, avoid thinking too long about whether to keep or discard an item. This is one specific way you can be ruthless when decluttering. Number 5, avoid cleaning during your declutter. Getting rid of the clutter is your priority. Cleaning can be accomplished later. Now let's look at some supplies you'll need. Number 1, you'll need boxes, preferably ones you can donate. Avoid plastic storage bins because you may be tempted to just store the items and never part with them. Number 2, you'll need some sturdy trash bags. And 3, you'll need a marker or a pen to label your boxes. Now let's look at 5 simple steps to declutter any space. Number 1, start by eliminating trash first. 2, sort your items by category if needed, so you can see what you have. Number 3, get rid of duplicate items, broken items, outgrown clothing and shoes, anything you'll never use again. Number 4, box up your donations and trash or recycle the rest. And finally, number 5, select a charity to donate your items. You could even schedule a pickup if that is an option. Leave a comment below and let me know what you are decluttering today. Head over to dmiddleton.com to subscribe and get your free homemaking ebook. You can also find my declutter printables and deep cleaning printables over at dmiddleton.com.